In this video, we're going to be going over how to make the work drawing for part 5, the wheel. So you're going to go to the plus sign, which is the insert new element, and then we're going to click on create drawing. So the size drawing that you're going to want for this is size C. What that is 4 times the size of size A. Size A is basically the size of one sheet of printer paper, and size C is kind of like 4 of those put together. So I have seen students make this work on a size A drawing, but things are a little bit cramped. So personally, I would say go with a size C. So you want ANSI C inch. If you don't see it in your templates because you haven't used it yet, just go to show Onshape drawing templates and it'll be in the list. All right, so from here we're going to grab our wheel and we want to put the front view right here. So the next view that you're going to put in is either going to be the right side or the top side, depending on where this piece is right here. So if yours is lined up the same way mine is, you're going to put in the right side. If yours for some reason is up here instead, you'd put in the top. Right, so our next one, we're going to click on our front view, and we are going to click on where the isometric one is going to go. All right, and then next we can add in a section view. So what that's going to do is cut our object apart. So I'm going to try to make sure I have this centered. Let's see. Okay. So I have that, except for it's going in the wrong direction. So I want it to be my top view. If you happen to have this where your right side is going to be your section view, then you're all set. If not, you're going to have to click on horizontal and then move it for the top view. All right. Oh, and if you're using a mouse and wondering how I'm moving this around, it's called pan, and the scroll wheel that zooms in and out, if you click on it and click and hold, you can move this around. It's quite useful for when you're zoomed in and trying to look at just some pieces next to each other where it's just slightly off screen. All right, so what we can do next is add in our, let's see, detailed view. So on here, everything gets a little bit cramped. So what I'm going to do is we're going to place in just the normal circle detailed view. I'm going to place it roughly about, I'm going to say here. All right, then I can place my view right there. All right, so let's see. Yep, we got it where we want it. And then we're going to add in another one for this feature right here. So I'm going to click a little bit off to the side. The reason for that is I want to see the outside edge and the circles right here that I'm going to be dimensioning. So I want to move that over to here. All right, if for some reason you have your letters overlapping and you need to move them around, you can click on the letter and move it. You can also click on the blue dot and shift it around if need be. And you can see how the scale, or sorry, the detail view is moving around, and if you hold your mouse over it, you can kind of see which one it's referring to. So same thing goes for here, and same for over here. So it's kind of showing you where everything's linked together. All right, so let's just say for this, you also wanted a back view. What you just do is move one of your detail views away and then go here, go to projected view, click on your right side and move it over. But that's up to you if you end up needing one to add in more dimensions, if your dimensions are cramped and you need to make some space. All right, so also we need to add in our center lines. For this part, I like to use the edge-to-edge center line, just because there's quite a few center lines, and if you use the 2-point, sometimes it works nicely and other times not as much. So I just find it easier to use the edge to edge. So, although for one of these I will use the 2-point. because I'm going through quite a few different components here. All right, and then now we want to add in some center marks. So I'm not going to add them to these right here because it's just going to get very cluttered very quickly. So with center marks for your arcs, if you add it in and it's making a mess of your drawing, then that most likely means that they're too small and they're not necessary in that location. All right, so I made sure I was out of the center mark tool. I can right click on my isometric, show hide, show shaded. And I want to show the hidden lines on my solid view over here, not the section one, but the other one. So show hide, show hidden lines. So that shows us that even though it looked pretty blank and not like anything was going on, a lot is going on from that view. All right, so next we want to add in some dimensions. So what I just did is use the normal dimension tool and clicked on these two slanted surfaces. And that brings in my 30 degrees. So that is one of these over here. All right, so this has TYP for typical. So how to add that in is sometimes it's easier to get out of the dimension tool to click on it. And then you just double click on your dimension. So you're gonna click over here. So you're gonna do space, capital T, Y, P. And then you can click off to the side. So now we have our typical mark in there. You're still gonna need quite a few more dimensions, so make sure you look at the dimensions you added to your part to have all the dimensions included in your work drawing. So along with all the dimensions that you're going to need to fill in your title block. So make sure you have your title as wheel, your drawing number as part 5, and then also just to keep yourself organized, I'd suggest changing drawing 1 or whatever drawing number it's up to something that's more convenient to look through. So maybe name it wheel, maybe put in the number of the part like I did over here. Just do something that it makes it a little bit more easier to sort through all of your tabs to find what you need when you're putting things together later. All right, so just a quick reminder again, you still have quite a few dimensions to add in, so make sure you don't forget anything, double check, and good luck.